Today I'll be continuing with the complete overhaul of a farmer's life that I've been undertaking recently by reviewing some of the mid-game features and ensuring that everything fits smoothly into the overall progression path. Hey, HannahMouse1 here. For those of you who don't know me, I'm an inspiring game dev working to prove that professional quality games can be made even using beginner-friendly software such as Scratch. My main project, A Farmer's Life, is a top-down 2D farming simulator game inspired by Stardew Valley. If you've been following this series, you know that I've been overhauling the game's visuals and refining each gameplay feature. Today I'm continuing that process by revamping the two late game locations, the shipping depot and the restaurant. Starting with the shipping depot, the first thing I did to this was to redo the background using the new colour palette and with the art expanded out to fill the space that used to be occupied by the brown border. I added in a keyboard and mouse to fill in some of the empty space at the bottom, and I did the wood panelling in the same style that I used in the barn. And yes, it was just as tedious to do now as it was then. I also did the UI for the shipping depot. Now the items that you can send and receive here are depicted using the inventory icon sprite rather than needing duplicate costumes in the shipping depot sprite. This helped me to keep the number of assets down. I also reworked the text manager sprite to be able to use the correct computer monitor font, and now that displays any written UI on this page. And then I moved on to the restaurant, starting with the background. This was pretty much the same process as it was for the shipping depot, but for the tiles in the background, I did these on a separate page and then copied the rest of the details on top to make my life a smidgen easier. Next, I did the art for Gaetano, the wheelchair-bound Italian restaurateur. I recoloured the art that I already had and drew in a bit more of his body to compensate for the extra space that is now visible. I animated him to blink and occasionally rub his one good eye, and I gave him a drop shadow to make him stand out from the background. I also remade the UI for the restaurant, recolouring Gaetano's quote bubbles and resizing the buttons that let you select which recipe collection you want to open, and made sure that was all laid out correctly. But the bulk of my time this week was actually spent on recolouring all of the 80+ recipe icons to use the new palette. I also made a few tweaks to how this is displayed in order to save on assets. Now, locked recipes are shown in grayscale rather than by a separate costume. And instead of having a separate costume for each recipe with a completed tick, I made it so that this uses the base costume and then layers a separate tick costume over it. I also reworked the UI which displays the ingredients that you need to use the inventory icon sprite, further saving on excess assets. But that is all I got done for this week, so thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video. Like and subscribe if you did, it lets me know that this is something you want to see more of. Join the Discord, link down below, and I'll see you next week with another video. Bye!